Okay. So here you are, a made man with the Genovese, and you're doing various things for them. Uh, I guess at one point you got charged, uh, both federally and state with loan sharking and gambling, and you got like 3.5 years in prison.
Yep. I got it. Well, this is after Bruno got killed. 2 days later, I got arrested. So I got charged in that was a state racketeering case, with sports gambling, loan sharking, numbers, all that stuff. Then I got out on bail. They put me on a bail, and they put me on a curfew from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I had to be home after 6 p.m. So they were really, and that's when they started watching me 24/7. They started to watch me, because there was other violence that happened prior to Bruno getting killed. There was so they were starting to really watch me. And so I got out. I had a bail and a curfew. Come 2005, the feds indicted me. So that was for money laundering, interstate commerce, sports gambling. I got bailed for that. That was in February of 2005. And then I got indicted again in April of 2005 for another state racketeering cases. So I had 3 open cases, all racketeering cases going on at once. Those are the 3 that I had going on in 2005. I ended up pleading guilty. I got 3 to 3.5 in the state, and I got 29 months in the Fed. Now that just goes to show you there was no violence on those indictments. So I had 3 of them. The money that was involved were in the multi-millions. I mean, I had 3 different cases going on. I pled guilty to a $2 million sports gambling, hundreds of thousands on the street, number business, huge number business. And out of 3 cases, I got only 3 to 3.5 years on a plea deal. I had the greatest lawyer in my area. He's the best lawyer of anybody joining. He was the best. So, I had a great attorney that was behind me, but I got 3 to 3.5 in the state and 29 months in the feds. So I go to do my time, for that right there.
Okay. And I guess while you're doing time in prison, the boss of the family, Nigro, gets indicted for extortion.
Right. And so do I. Not with him, though. I get indicted, too. In another case.
Okay. And I'm trying to just kind of figure out the timeline of all this.
So 2007, when I'm doing my timeline, I get indicted for another extortion case for shaking down the vending business. That case I went to trial for and beat. I got found not guilty. Me, Freddie, and Ty.
Got it. So you get back out, and do you get made a captain at some point?
When you say I get back out after the 2005 to 2008?
Yeah.
Well, the reason, like I said, I got indicted in 2007. I had to go to trial, beat that case. Once I got found not guilty of that, I had to go in front of the parole board again. They gave it to me, and I got out in 2008. As far as the captain, I was the boss in my area. Okay, it was a captain in the family. But yeah, that's the position I had. When I got made with Artie, I had all the power. I had all the which I didn't need that. It wasn't like I, needed it. No, all my rackets were mine, all my stuff. It was just that they wanted Felix as the guy in the area to have that recognition. So when all the heat came, I had guys come up to me, made guys, and say, Anthony, who do we come see if there's a problem, me or you or Felix? I go, see whoever you want. They wanted to have me commit because a lot of them were informants. They were just trying to get it so they could tell, who the actual guy was in our area to find out. And that's why he did it, to protect me from law enforcement scrutiny.
Well, at one point, Gary Westerman gets killed.
Yes.
Now, what was the story with that?
I mean, that guy, he was going to get killed like 3 different times. Yes, he finally did get killed. We were actually going to kill him in 96. Freddie had a case with him. And when we went to go kill him, my friend Louie knocked on the door. His girlfriend was there, so we had to call it off. Freddie ended up doing some prison time over that. Him and Gary did some prison time. Then they got out of prison around 2001. Gary starts dating my wife at the time sister. She was on drugs. She was a mess at the time. So Gary was selling drugs, giving her drugs. He was 30 years older than her. And I told him, I said, Gary, find another girl. Stay away from her. He said he was gonna. And then my mother-in-law and father-in-law both are immigrants from Italy. So they speak broken English. They own a specialty store with Italian meats and olive oils. Sausage was their specialty. They have the best sausage in the area. They're busting my balls. This guy's 30 years older than my daughter. What are you going to do about it? You know, this guy's giving her drugs. What are you going to do about it? I said, I'm going to talk to him. I go talk to him again. Gary, go pick another girl. I'm gonna, I promise I'm gonna. Now, at the time, my car had a listening device in it. I was driving an Expedition, and the feds put a bug in it. They were listening to me. And I actually pull up to him at a strip club, and I said, Gary, and it's on tape. I said, Gary, will you stop, go get another girlfriend? He goes, and it's got him saying on tape, I'm gonna. So when I went to my mother-in-law's store, that was a place where it was a hangout for me. It was a place where I met people. It had an upstairs. You could look outside and see it was in Italian, south end of Springfield. The Italian club was across the street, the Italian coffee. It was a nice spot. So when I used to go there, Joe was my father-in-law, and he says, this guy, again, he busted my balls. He won't stop dating my daughter. What does that say about you? He's got no respect for you. And, you know, he's pointing it at me like that now. My mother-in-law is like, Anthony, this guy, you know, they're basically asking me to hurt the guy. So that's when I had my friend Michael was in the store that day. I said, Michael, do me a favor, drive me. I'm gonna shoot this kid tonight. So we set it up. I had Freddie take him to dinner, and me and Michael waited outside. I said, Freddie, beat me when you're 10 minutes away from eating, when you're wanting to walk out the door. I said, then I'll pull up. I'll have Michael pull up. I'll get out and I'll shoot Gary. So we did all that. I beeped him. He beeps me. So we get ready. But what happened when we were parked on the side, it was a big restaurant. We didn't see Gary drove a Porsche. The Porsche was parked here. The parking lot's over here. So we figured they have to walk this way for sure. But what happens is they walk short and they get into the Porsche. So by the time we pulled up, they were in the car. I would have had to shoot in the car and maybe hit Freddie at the same time. So we had to call that one off. Then eventually they welcomed my mother-in-law welcomes back him. They go out to dinner, so they start dating and they end up getting married. So I just washed my hands with the whole situation. You know, I didn't want the guy around me, you know, that close to me, being with me, but you know, they ended up getting married. But then we find out the guy's an informant. We had some, and it turns out he definitely was an informant, and he was an informant, and we just set together a plan and we ended up killing him.
Okay, and you were involved in that murder yourself?
Yes.
Okay, was that the first person you killed?
Yes.
How did it feel to actually kill someone you had some level of relationship with?
It didn't feel nothing either way. To say, I just, you know, lived my life, went home. They knew right away in my house that, because, you know, don't forget, my wife's sister was married to him at this point. So when I got home that night, right away, he didn't come home. So she knew right away, the sister knew right away that something happened to him. So she's calling and I hear my wife in the other room saying, well, maybe he just went out somewhere and this and that. And I know he's dead. And, you know, and then she comes in and she says, you know, Gary didn't come home last night. I hope you didn't do anything, you know. And I just told her to get away from me. And she hopes I didn't do anything. Her mother and father were begging me for months to do something, you know. But I did. That's not why he ended up getting killed. But yeah, I didn't. It didn't affect me. So if that's what you're asking, I feel bad for the family. You know, he had a daughter and family members. I feel bad for them. And you know, in all of our lives, that's the life we pick. You know, we get killed. The family's the ones that suffer. So yeah, that aspect I feel for the family.